But it's something that has to be changed. Because it's okay to stop eating when you're full. You know what that could mean? That means you might take smaller portions. Wow. Yeah, you can if you can eat it. But if you're full, push away from the table. You know, exercise your table muscle. No, you don't do that. Push away so you don't exercise that. But you got to understand there's things that have to be changed. You got to get rid of these. But it'll require the Holy Spirit to point out to you truth, give you a new picture and a new experience. Yeah. No, you can go to the Asian buffet. Just don't have it falling off on the floor when you try to go back to the seat. Oh, yeah, you can. If you get full, you're done. Try it. If you get full, you're done. Then you know what? You can eat something else at another time when you get hungry again. Oh, no, we can't do that. But it's just the sensuality, the greed, those things you have to do something about because that got planted when? You see, the king of the kingdom of darkness started planting it when you were in utero. He started doing his stuff when you were in utero. Then somewhere along the line, you meet Jesus Christ. He just wants you to get rid of the stuff that you're dragging along with you. You know, I started once to get a rope and attach to my belt and a sack of trash and drag it around up here today. But I think you get the message. Because what are you dragging around? You know why we can't track you and see where you've been? Your garbage is dragging out your tracks. What? Yeah. You look back there and you meet somebody for the first time and you're like, well, I'm glad to meet you. What is that? Oh, I don't know. That's always with me. You go along and drag out your tracks, you know. Really? I mean, it's got to be thrown away. But you'll have to ask the Holy Spirit to take you with it. And you're going to have to put up with the fact that it took you years to get here. And it's going to take a period of time to get rid of it. One thing at a time. So what was he breaking on me the other day when he brought this up? The fact that, number one, I don't have to put everything on my plate that I don't intend to eat. The other thing is, why don't I quit eating when I'm full? I don't have to throw it away. But there's things he's trying to change. See? Because here's the thing. If you're at the marriage supper of the Lamb, and you're being served and you're having supper with Jesus Christ, which you will have, he says he will, you know, are you going to be a glutton there? You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But you see, you wouldn't want to there, but here we still have this problem. And I'm not talking about eating, actually. Now, for you multitaskers and you controllers and you manipulators. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's around. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 But some of you will have to be worked through that. Where do you come up with some of this stuff? I don't know. I often want to ask, how did you come up with this? What were you thinking? But you realize what you learned in the darkness, you don't want to bring to light. You need to let that be crucified for you to be free of it so that you can be filled with the Spirit. Because every time, if you see one of them woolly boogers and the Holy Spirit comes along and unhooks one of them off of you, do you know the fact that the Holy Spirit will place himself there and you'll be changed? Some of you need it. Everybody's got skeletons in the closet. Yeah. Some of them more than one. Open the door, they all fall out. But it's a situation where the truth's coming out. But if you let the Holy Spirit do it, he'll do that from the inside out. You say, well, Brother Bob, I need my behavior changed. Well, it'll change if you change the inside first, then the motivation won't be there to do some of the crazy stuff you do.
Anybody that's ever been a youngest child knows what it's like to be controlled and manipulated.
That's right. And so, but you know, you learn that and then you become what you know. If you know what it's like to be manipulated, you will become that. See, and the love of Jesus Christ needs to be so deep in you that you're willing to make these changes. Yeah. So what about your addictions? What are your addictions? Chocolate, some of you. Well, it can be whatever it is. What are your addictions? But each one of them has to be helped. And I know what you do in secret is sometimes rewarded openly and the truth comes out. You see, how do you get the benefits of spirituality and avoid responsibility? You can't. There's responsibility that goes with being a Christian. And what's that? To get the hooks out of you, to get the thinking out of you. Because we said before, some of us, in fact, will take our feelings to the point that the feelings are right up there with the Sermon on the Mount. You can't trust your feelings. It's not how you feel. And this has to be changed to get rid of what it says here. That hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us. It entangles us, whether it's sensuality or lust or greed or pride or social position or decorum. By the way, what's decorum? Some of you smart people, what's decorum? Decorum's decorum. What's deemed appropriate? But who sets the rules about what's appropriate? Okay? If you do, then we got a deal. Decorum can mean anything. How you live, how you dress, how you appear. Because some of you are extremely concerned about how you look and how you appear. Yeah, it is. Because you might think, well, if the outside looks good and my behavior looks good, then I must be good. Yes, sir? Fake it till you make it. Okay? Mm-hmm. But what happens when your sin shall find you out? See, those are laws that will happen anyway. In fact, if you've faked it, your sin will find you out one day. And you have to be careful what you do. Mm-hmm. Now we're headed to that. Because you see, if you go by feelings, feelings are not faith. Faith has to be you're behaving because who you are. Walking by sight is behaving by how you feel. And the feeling is always a problem. Now, could I get mad at God today? Yeah. Well, I could feel like He's not paying attention to me. I know how some of us are. You're not paying attention to me, and why didn't He take care of this? How long, Lord, you going to do this? And you can get angry with Him on a certain situation. But that can go to the dark. And in the light, I have to say, why don't I just accept the day for which He has? And we'll just let Him do what He needs to do. See, decorum, dignified propriety of behavior, speech, dress, the quality or state of becoming decorous, orderliness, regularity, usually decorum, and observance of required or of polite society. Victorianism was a form of decorum. How many of you put your elbows on the table when you eat? That's one of them, you know, they say, get your elbows off the table. Okay. That's actually about what? Decorum. You got elbows, what's wrong with them? Some of you, well, but you see, it's like that. It can be something. My grandmother said she got in trouble because she was whistling Amazing Grace at the table. Well, that goes back years when that was